sacred, authentic self through our positive messaging and loving support.
Good evening, everyone. We are going to start off with a little song by Karen Druckard about gratitude. Gratitude before me, gratitude behind me, gratitude to the left of me, gratitude to the right of me, gratitude above me, gratitude below me, gratitude within me, gratitude all around me. I'm so grateful. I'm so grateful. I'm so grateful. I'm so grateful. Gratitude before me. I invite you to follow along with me. Gratitude to the left of me, gratitude to the right of me, gratitude above me, gratitude below me, gratitude within me, gratitude all around me. I'm so grateful. Put your hand on your heart. I'm so grateful. I'm so grateful. I'm so grateful. One more time. Gratitude before me. Gratitude behind me. Gratitude to the left of me. Gratitude to the right of me. Gratitude above me. Gratitude below me. Gratitude within me, gratitude all around me. I'm so grateful. I'm so grateful. I'm so grateful. I'm so grateful.
Oh, we have so much to be grateful for, and it's so wonderful to focus our attention on that. So, I wanted to start this evening by sharing a little story about a monk. The monk sat in a lotus position, looking out over the courtyard. His eyes were closed. He was trying to meditate. Anybody ever do that? Try to meditate? And be present. Be present with what is. But the sounds of the courtyard and the kids that came to visit the monastery, they annoyed him. He couldn't be mindful with all this noise going on. Anybody relate to that? Trying to do your meditation and there's the inner noise, the outer noise, there's noise. The monk got up and made his way to the master. The master was in the courtyard teaching the kids from a nearby town about meditation. The kids were attentively listening to the master. The monk waited for the class to be over and then stepped up to the master. Master, why can't I seem to experience this presence of mind you were talking about the other day? Why can't I seem to be more present? The master smiled and looked at the monk and said, why do you think you're not living in the present moment? The monk looked around, trying to figure out or trying to think of a reasonable answer. I can't seem to be more present because I keep on noticing my mind wandering. Guilty. Wandering away in thought. Beside all of the noise of the kids in the courtyard, because you know how they are, right? Really noisy. They were disturbing my peace. That's why I can't be more present. The master looks away and observes one of the kids running around in the field, playing with the grass and dancing joyously. Do you see that child? The master asked softly. Of course I do, the monk answered, unsure of what the master was trying to tell him. Does that kid look mindful to you? In other words, is she living in the present? Yeah, she does. She seems happy and free. After all, she's a child without a speck of worry on her mind. Then why do you still think you aren't living in the present moment? If even a child can do it, why can't you? The master asked. He continued, the child doesn't make a difference between being present and listening to her thoughts. She knows that both are happening at the very moment. If she wanders away in her imagination or thought, she doesn't say to herself that she shouldn't. The child knows perfectly well that nothing can happen outside of the present moment, not even thoughts or imagination. The master looks at the monk and sees a slight smile on his face. My friend, you've been making such a big deal out of living in the present moment that you forgot what it's really all about. To pay attention. That's what the child does best. She pays attention to everything, and she marvels over everything. That's all you can do to live in the present moment. The monk smiles, thank you, Master. I didn't do anything. It was you who came to me. So go on and pay attention. Be as free as that child and live as joyous as her. In the book, The Power of Now by Eckhart Tolle, he shared that story, and I had to laugh because, today as I was getting ready to come here, and most Mondays when I'm trying to get ready to come here, I'm busy and trying to get everything done. I got to do this, I got to do that, and then yeah. So it was really good to have this lesson tonight. For moi, I needed a reminder to be present, to let go of what is, and what happens, happens. How things show up is how things show up, and it's irrelevant, ultimately, in the grand scheme of things. Eckhart Tolle in The Power of Now wrote, to offer no resistance to life is to be in a state of grace, ease, and lightness. This state is then no longer dependent upon things being in a certain way. Oh, damn. I thought things had to be in a certain way, preferably my way. Anybody feel guilty about that? Anybody have that idea? Like, if you just do it my way, all would be well. That's kind of how I've lived my life. So this lesson's for me. He goes on to say in the book, things, people, or conditions that you thought you needed for your happiness come to you with no struggle or effort on your part in the moment that you allow yourself just to surrender and be. When we come to a place of just allowing the moment to be the moment, of standing and going, it is what it is. All is well, all is good. I'm not going to stress or worry about it. I'm simply going to show up and be me. Everybody else is taken, so I figured best to just be me. He also wrote that love is a state of being, and your love is not outside, it's deep within you. It's part of you, and you can never lose it, and it can never leave you. It's not dependent on some other body, some external form. In the stillness of your presence, you can feel your own formless and timeless reality as the unmanifested life that animates your physical form. How cool is that? What a great way to put it in words. You can then feel the same life deep within every other human and every other creature. So we come to understand that I am love. I'm expressing that love, that energy, that divine possibility, and so is everybody else. Everybody's doing what they can in the best way. So he finishes this section off by saying, so what is God? The eternal one life underneath all the forms of life. And what is love? Well, to feel the presence of that one life deep within yourself and within all creatures. Creatures. Washed it. Can't do a thing with it. To be it. Therefore, all is love and love is God. So if you ever had a thought that, ooh, God, what an evil word, just know that the energy of love is the essence of life. And whatever we name it, we can't even begin to describe it because we're in a finite beingness and the infinite is unknowable from this perspective.
been running ever since. It's been a long time coming, but I know change gon' come. It's been too hard living, but I'm afraid to die, 'cause I don't know what's up there beyond the sky. It's been a long time coming, but I know change gon' come. Oh, yes it will. I go to the movie and I go downtown. Somebody keep telling me, don't hang around. It's been a long time coming, but I know a change gonna come. Then I go to my brother and I say, brother, help me please. But he winds up knocking me back down on my knees. There have been times that I thought couldn't last for long, but now I think I'm able to carry on. It's been a long time coming, but I know a change gonna come.
Whoa, change is a coming. Change is a coming. And that's something that we want to welcome, I think. I don't know. Eckhart Tolle wrote something in the beginning of his book. He said, I cannot live with myself anymore. And it was in that moment, that revelation of I can't live with myself anymore, that he came to a place of understanding that he was resisting his natural being. He was resisting his natural life, and that the change needed to happen. He says, suddenly I became aware of what a peculiar thought that was. Am I one or two? If I cannot live with myself, then maybe there's two of me, the I and the self. The I cannot live with. Maybe I thought only one of them is real. There's a part of us that has a higher level of knowing, that sort of essence of us that can speak in a way that sometimes we don't acknowledge. And I remember years ago doing a service when CSL Toronto was up and running, and I was interviewing someone. And so we're sharing stories here, talking back and forth. And he was sharing part of his journey. And all of a sudden, there was an observer. I don't know if you've experienced the observer. There was a part of me that was watching what was transpiring. And it was fascinating. It was fascinating. This observer was like, wow, this is cool. Interesting. Look what you've created. Wow, look what's going on. Just no judgment, just, wow, check this out. And it was an interesting feeling because it makes it feel like there's like two of me, right? Like there's the part of me that has the physical experience, and then there's the part of me, the thinking part of me. So he goes on in the book to say that he was stunned by this realization. And it was in the moment that he totally got that he got quiet, that thinking stopped. And he spent the next 2 years doing nothing. He had no money, he had no job, he had no life, he had no wife, he had no partner, he had no nothing. And he spent 2 years like that, just doing nothing, being nothing. And at the end of it all, realized what being is, and then wrote the book, The Power of Now. So, what we want to understand is that this moment right here is the only moment that exists. There's nothing else. And so often we're having an experience, but we're thinking about what's coming next, or what would happen in the past, or what was going on yesterday, or what am I going to do next? Well, at least I'm doing all these things all at the same time. And it was interesting to, as I'm reading his book and looking at some of this stuff that he was talking about, the idea of being present and what does that really mean and what does it look like? And part of it is, can I accept me as I am? I mean, I spent a lot of my life not liking me very much. I wasn't tall enough, cute enough, thin enough. I wasn't smart enough. I wasn't quiet enough. I'm a bit loud. I had to come to terms with that. Whatever was going on, there was a great level of low self-esteem that was all about me not being enough, and in some cases, being too much. If I was being me, then people weren't going to like me. And so there was a lot of turmoil within me as I went through that process. And I'm sure, judging from what he was talking about at the beginning of the book, he was going through something similar. When he had this experience of really acknowledging this idea of oneness, this completeness, he spent the next little while like walking around the city and just looking at things and seeing everything in a new way, seeing people in a new way, listening to the sound of a bird and going, wow, like he had never really heard that before. For once, he was in life, having life. And his journey from then on, of course, we know Eckhart Tolle is pretty big in the whole spiritual movement, helping people to find their essence, to live from that place of recognizing that each and every one of you, perfect. No matter what you think about you, you are perfect. Now, I'm perfect. My behavior doesn't always match that, but I'm perfect, perfect, whole, and complete. Each person created unique and special. So all of us have a little something, something that we do that no one else can do in the way that we do it, and that we give that into life is why we're here. We're here to do that. The universe requires it at this time. He goes on, people would occasionally come up to him and say, I want what you have. Can you give it to me or show me how to get it? And he would say, you already have it. You just can't feel it because your mind is making too much noise. Ever notice how much noise your mind makes? Right? You do something that you judge as wrong, idiot. Or you're trying to meditate and going into meditation, and it's like, did you shut the iron off? Oh, did you remember to lock the front door? Oh, you gotta go get groceries right after this. Did you set a timer? Oh, it must be 20 minutes already. Is it only my mind that that's what mind does, right? It revolves around, it goes, and we want to still it. And the way to do that is to begin to focus on what's really before us and to focus on what's really within us and live from that place. As we find our own authentic self and as we choose to celebrate it, what happens is the world around us begins to reflect back to us a new type of energy. And it's really beautiful. It's really wonderful to know that whoever's in front of you is a reflection, like a mirror image of yourself. That's kind of cool, right? Like, wow, this person in front of me is me. Not separate from, different than, but me. And I was listening to a physicist talking about the energy of the universe and how when anything's brought together, even if it's later separated by miles, it's still completely connected. And we are all connected. And that's kind of a cool thing. Um, so he shares a story, which I'm going to share with you because it speaks to this idea of who I am and am I willing to just be who I am and love who I am. And so he shares this story. A baker had been sitting on the side of the road for over 30 years. And one day a stranger came up to him and walked by, and the beggar goes, spare change, mechanically holding out his baseball cap, trying to get some money. And the stranger says, I have nothing to give you. And then he asked, he said, the box you're sitting on, what's inside the box? Have you looked inside the box? And he goes, no. No, it's just an old box. I've been sitting on it for years. There's nothing in there. And he goes, well, why don't you take a look? Okay. So he gets up and he opens up the box and it's full of gold. That which we seek, we are. The moral of the story is that he had with him always everything he needed. There was nothing separate, nothing held back, nothing different. Everything necessary. He already had it. He just didn't know where to look. And so we're invited to take a look within ourselves, find out who we really are. You know, sometimes we're looking for something and we're trying to figure it out. And he shared another story of a guy comes to a cliff and there's a tiger chasing him, and, he grabs this vine, he falls off the edge, and the tiger's up there gnarling at him, and he looks down, he's going to climb down, but there's a tiger at the bottom gnarling and screaming up at him. And then all of a sudden a couple of mice come and they're chewing at the rope. It's like, damn, that's a bad day. I'm guessing. I've never been chased by tigers, but I'm guessing it's a bad day. And he's thinking, now what? But then out of the corner of his eye, he notices a perfect strawberry growing just to the left. And so he lets go of the vine with one of his hands and he takes that beautiful strawberry and takes a bite. And in that moment, all is well. The past that he's been running from holds no relevance in that moment. The future that we don't know what it's going to be or what it's going to look like, well, for a moment, he wasn't there either. He was present with this beautiful strawberry. We have a habit of projecting our thinking either forward or backward. So I'm thinking about, what's going to happen if this happens or if that happens, or, oh no, I remember when I tried something before and it didn't work, and oh no, now what? And so we're fearful of what was and we're fearful of what will be, and we get stuck in a place where we're frozen and we can't move forward and we can't do anything because we're stuck in this place of, oh my God, now what? And so what I hope to share this evening or help to understand for myself, because, we're all in that boat of thinking about what will be, what could be, what was, we're all in that mix of consciousness where we're constantly flipping back and forth. But if we could find a way, moment by moment, to say, this is it. I'm not this. I'm not this body. I am so much more than that. I am the consciousness that animates the body. And that changes things because we get so caught up in this, don't we? Am I the right size? Am I the right height? Do I have the right look? Am I pretty enough? Am I whatever the story is, right? We've got our stories, and those stories are all about somehow we're less than what we really are. And what if each one of us is divine perfection? that the way we're created is perfect. That the stories we were told as children, the one I heard the most was shut up, right? That was so my parent could feel comfortable being around me. That didn't mean I was bad and wrong. It meant I disturbed the energy of this person, but that was their choice. They had an idea of what things should look like and how things should be. And when I interrupted the flow of that, I was condemned. And that became my story. You know, oh, I've got to be careful. Be quiet. Don't speak too loud. Don't talk too much. When I was in school for the first 6 grades, I never spoke in class. Never. Never said a word. Never said a word. I couldn't. I was frozen. Because I knew if anybody really saw me, they would hate me. Because that's how I felt. Anybody ever feel like that? When you're little, that somehow who you are is just so awful and bad. Well, I'm here to tell you it was all lies. All lies. We're all created in such a perfect way to live the life that we're meant to live and to bring our gift, whatever that gift is, we're here to bring it into the world for everybody else. And it is essential that we give it. For me, it was about love. And so I do everything I can to love everybody. Now, sometimes, sometimes I get frustrated or annoyed or whatever. That doesn't mean I stop loving. It just means my internal clock is doing a little dance that needs a little adjustment. But the love is there, right? And I don't care I mean, I've hugged strange men at Shoppers a couple times actually. I've, I've, I've hugged, everybody that I come in contact with. I'm usually, cautious to say, like, are you okay with that? But I love to hug people. I love to spend time with people. And that's happening more and more. And when we can out of our own way, when we stop seeing ourselves as somehow, I need to be different. When I found this teaching, I believed I was broken and flawed and this would fix me. That's how I came into this teaching. I'm not enough, and often way too much. But the stories that I was told were what I've come to understand was somebody else's perception of me that caused discomfort for them. So they weren't even meaning to harm me. Like mom wasn't trying to make me feel bad about myself. She was trying to find a way to be in her life, which was quite difficult for her. So we're all journeying along and we're trying to figure out how to do this together because we're all in this mix. And the best thing we can do is moment by moment check in. Am I being me, or have I put on another mask so that people might like me, so that they might be okay with me? And do you ever, go to the in-laws for dinner the first time? Well, let me be this way. Or you go out on a first date. First dates are great. I'd like to see somebody be real on a first date. I don't know if that's ever happened, but it would be very cool. If you like eating with your fingers, eat with your fingers. When Pierre and I had our first date, I ate off his plate. He didn't hit me or smack me or tell me to stop, so I still do that today. Now he loves it that I'm vegan because he'll put cheese on stuff. He'll put milk instead of oat milk. He knows I ain't touching it. The journey that we're on is about really letting go of the past because it's done, right? Most of my past, I didn't really like it the first time around. Why I would want to relive it over and over again, who knows? But I know that I do that. And when those memories come up, I just honor it and go, oh, there you go. There you are. Okay. It was what it was. And I'm choosing to release it because it isn't going to take me where I want to go, and it isn't going to bring me to a place of joy. And then when I'm thinking about the future, what's going to happen tomorrow, and next week, and next month, and I got to do this, and I got to do that. And Rico was saying earlier, we need a spin class before service, but I'm thinking, I don't think I need a spin class before service because I'm wound too tight already. I need to calm down, relax, get some zen. But that journey that we're on is like, can we allow ourselves to be in the moment and know that it takes care of the next? So if I can be peaceful in the moment, my tomorrow is brighter. If I can honor who I am, regardless of who I'm with, if I can just be me, then what happens is my next moment is just a little bit brighter because I'm being honest, I'm being authentic. And that's our whole vision statement, transforming humanity through the emergence of the sacred, authentic self. Each one of us is essential to this universe unfolding. Is there anything else in here that I wanted to? I have a lot of notes, wow. So I just want to ask you to consider a couple of questions. One is, what are my attachments? What am I attached to? What things am I really holding on to that I need things to be in a certain way? And what are some of the things I can't let go of? I'm holding on. I've been learning to let go. My board and my husband and my assistant here, everybody's like, let go, let go, let go. So I'm learning to let go, let other people do stuff. What attachments, what are you ready to let go of? And am I learning anything new? Am I learning anything new? Just ask yourself every day, am I learning anything new? Because if I'm learning something new, if I'm showing up authentically as I am, as I'm living in this moment going, it is what it is, now what? As I can be present as I am, not how I wish I was. I always wanted to be tall and blonde. Ta-da! I manifest a child who's tall and blonde. So in the book, he says, as you follow your action plan to live mindfully, moment by moment, just pay attention. Pay attention to where you go, what you're thinking about. Love yourself enough to be gentle and kind with you. Because believe me, you are worth it. And you are essential to the universe right now. Our world appears troubled, but as we find our own inner strength, that trouble gets calmed. The waters get smoothed over and something beautiful happens. So I'm going to sing you a little song because, we don't have a soloist right this second standing here, so it'll be me. And it's about love. I love myself so much that I could love you so much, that you could love you so much, you could start loving me. I love myself so much that I could love you so much, that you could love you so much, that you could start loving me. Okay, let's let the real singer up here.
When I find myself in times of trouble, Mother Mary comes to me, speaking words of wisdom, let it be. And in my hour of darkness, she is standing right in front of me, speaking words of wisdom, let it be. let it be, let it be, let it be, oh, let it be. Whisper words of wisdom, let it be. And when the broken-hearted people living in the world agree, there will be an answer, let it be. For though they may be parted, there is still a chance that they will see. There will be an answer, let it be. Let it be, let it be, let it be, oh, let it be. There will be an answer, let it be. Let it be, let it be, let it be, oh, let it be. Whisper words of wisdom, let it be. Let it be, let it be, let it be, oh, let it be. There will be an answer, let it be. And when the night is cloudy, there is still a light that shines on me. Shine until tomorrow, let it be. I wake up to the sounds of music. Mother Mary comes to me, speaking words of wisdom. Let it be. Let it be. Let it be. Let it be. Oh, let it be. There will be an answer. Let it be. Let it be. Let it be. Let it be. Oh, let it be. Whisper words of wisdom. Let it be.
Pierre, right on. Maddie, Deja, rock and roll, man. So, a few announcements. We have a newsletter that goes out every week. It's really important. It keeps us connected to what's going on here. If you're not on our mailing list, is it up here? No, but I think it's admin at cslonthelake.com, correct? Yeah. Let us know you're there. We love to hear from you. We want you here in spirit. We want you to know what's going on. So that's one way that we can communicate with you and let you know what's going on, because a lot is going on and it's going to keep growing. Just watch. But you want to be here in the beginning to have a reference of how things get in like a year from now. Can you imagine? Fantastic. So next Monday, which is October 17th, is a very special service, right? Do we have anything? Yes, we do. It's please join us that will include Rev B and Pierre's renewal of their wedding vows, and everyone is welcome. Oh, I missed it. Okay, and then Saturday is the first youth group event. So that means anyone from 14 to 18, right? Right. 13 to 18 years old, and gender doesn't matter. Anyone, all are welcome. Okay, good. And so email again at admin at cslonthelake.com or Rev B if you have a personal details. Some people don't, but that's all right. We like to keep it like that. And then there's a Spirit Cafe that airs at noon on Eastern Time, 12 o'clock noon. On Wednesday is Rev B and Cheryl Rogers. They get together. They have a little a little chat session discussing timely and controversial topics. Does it get controversial? Boy, oh boy, that's hot. And you can see it live, or you can see it on YouTube or Facebook afterwards. And then the Joy Show. If you haven't seen the Joy Show, it's incredibly inspiring to hear what motivates people, what inspires people to live their lives. Always about achieving one's authentic self. And every Friday at 3 o'clock, you can actually witness people talking and saying what their passions are and why they're here and what their talents are. And it's really moving. So that happens every Friday at 3 o'clock, also on YouTube and Facebook. All right. Now, here's the other cool thing. We need volunteers. We have a team, but we want to expand our team. We want we want to invite you. If you experience tonight, you know that this is a special place. It's a safe place. It's a place that allows you to really nurture your own talents, to share your talents, to expand those talents. So if you have that unique talent and it's still a little quiet inside you, come here. We will exploit it. We will show you how to use it and expand it and really come from a loving place. So if you're hesitant, you don't know what we need, you're kind of cautious, like, well, I don't know what I can do. Just show up. Just email Deja at, again, admin at CSL. Let's say it together. Admin at CSLontheLake.com. See, we'll never forget it, right? So don't be shy. Come on board. We'd love to have you. Okay, yeah. And then it is with gratitude that we acknowledge, oh, yeah, this is a cool thing too. A founding members club. I want to acknowledge, we're proud and grateful that we're acknowledging more than 60 people participated in the founding members club. 60 people. And that's all since last September, correct? And that's just, don't correct me. Was it November? Was it November? Oh, damn, keep changing your mind. October. Yeah, so that's cool. But that has nothing to do with actually being a member of CSL on the Lake. Being a member involves a little more. We're still trying to figure out when to have that, just that free class where we can introduce ourselves and you introduce yourselves and we can tell you what we're about here. So that's coming. We don't have all the details yet, but that's coming too. But that's different from the founding members club. Those are 60 people that just contributed financially so we could be here. The members club is really, we want you to be a part of what we're doing. We really want to build that. Yeah, and the only way we get to know you if you show up. So that's a good way. Okay, now there's going to be a slide sharing. And it's not even about time or money or treasure. It really is that investment and that commitment that we make not only to the brick and mortar's representation of the Spirit, but the Spirit in ourselves and the Spirit all around us. It's a declaration that says, I'm willing, I'm committing, I'm jumping, I'm here for you. And that comes through money or time or your talent, but it all involves participation. One of the great ways that really mean a lot is just a financial contribution. So a time for sharing my abundant good, because good is everywhere. And it's time to not hold on to it and really just get in the flow with things is the way I understand it. So I receive with gratitude. Yeah, let's say that together. I receive with gratitude. I use what I receive. I share with love. The law of circulation is active in my life now. I am grateful. All is well. Man, just living that all by itself is just, you get everything you need in those 6 lines. Okay, and now there's going to be another song, I think. Yes, all right. Genevieve, unless I'm going to sing, I didn't know.
All right. I just want to be happy. But if I keep on doing the things that keep on bringing me pain, there's no one else I can blame if I'm not happy. Wasted time, but now I can see the biggest enemy, it was me. So I'm not happy. Cry yourself to sleep. Shout and raise your hands. It won't change a thing, child, until you understand. If you're tired of being the same, if you're tired of things not changing, it's time for you to get out the way. Don't get stuck in how you feel. Say, Spirit, take the wheel. It knows the road that you need to take. If you want to be happy, don't you want to be happy? I just want to be happy. But if I keep on giving my heart for people to tear apart, there's no one else I can start. If I'm not happy, will I ever be happy? Cry yourself to sleep. Shout and raise your hands. It won't change a thing, child, until you understand. If you're tired of being the same, if you're tired of things not changing, it's time for you to get out the way. Don't get stuck in how you feel. Say, Spirit, take the wheel. It knows the road that you need to take. It's so easy to complain, addicted to the pain. You give your heart, they push it away. Spirit knows just how you feel. Just let it take the wheel. The love you need, you already have. Do you want to be happy? I just want to be happy. Let me hear you say yeah, yeah, yeah. 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 If you're tired of being the same, if you're tired of things not changing, it's time for you to get out the way. Don't get stuck in how you feel. Say, Spirit, take the wheel. It knows the road that you need to take. It's so easy to complain, addicted to the pain. You give your heart, they push it away. Spirit knows just how you feel. Just let it take the wheel. The love you need, you already have. Do you want to be happy? I just want to be happy. Do you want to be happy? I just want to be happy.
And that's why we all show up, because we all want to be happy. I'm going to lead in the closing treatment or benediction to bless this day and bless what happened. And really just breathe with me, deep breath. Close your eyes if you wish. Remember the moment you came into this room before the service happened, how you felt and how you feel now. By taking that deep breath, we're reminded that that breath is life. And because we are still breathing and something is breathing us, we are still here, much more powerful than we think. And we acknowledge this moment that this is where the Spirit lives. This is where the one power, the one source, the one life exists. In this room, right here, in everything and everyone, including ourselves, right here as we breathe, we're reminded of this power that we are united to each other and to the truth and that we bless this moment, bless this day, Rev B and everyone at this church who heard that voice inside themselves and said, I want to be here. And you listen, so congratulations. You listen to that voice. And we are here, and we are blessed, and we are alive, and we are love. This is the truth. And as we expand in this knowledge of who we are, and expand that and express that in a more fuller way, and every day, and everyone we meet, and everything we do, how we see the world through God's eyes, that's pretty awesome. And that's the reason to be here, because we do want to be happy. And grateful for this moment, grateful for who we are, grateful for the people that are around us that reflect that love back onto us, this spiritual community, this center of spiritual living on the lake. And with this grateful heart, I release these words into the infinite mind, into the action of law. And I know that word is going out there and it's attracting hundreds more people. I know that's happening because we're speaking this in love, and all is well, and all is perfect, whole, and complete. And say with me, and so it is. So yeah, we're not ready to leave. We still want to share some love. So if you want to hang out, there's nowhere to go. There's coffee back there. Spend a little time. Maybe Dave will pick up the tempo a little bit, do a little dance. I don't know. Anything can happen. But thanks for joining us, everyone. Thanks, Rev, Genevieve, Dave. Right on. See you next week.